We are live, everyone. Welcome to the Press Start Podcast. I am your host, Chasm Riff, and I am with the one and only Atlas Onus, and I'm also with, for the second week in a row, our guest host, Evan. You know what's great about that? I had the desktop muted, so they couldn't hear y'all yet. I knew y'all was going to clown.
So it's Atlas Onus. What's up, guys?
All right. So how you both feeling today?
Feeling pretty good.
My God, with the echoes. All right, y'all ready to just hop? All right, it's week 6 of the podcast, if I'm correct, for this season at least. Yeah, a lot of unexpiring things happened this week. We actually kind of had to scrape the bottom of the barrel to find articles for the week, but nonetheless, the show must go on. Hey, Atlas, you want to start off with the question of the day?
Yeah, so for this week, the question of the day is, do you guys think it's justified for someone to give or criticize a game just based off of one trailer, or should people wait for, I don't know. In my opinion, I think they should wait for the full game. What do you guys think?
For me,
I think a trailer can be misleading. I mean, a lot of game companies will publish trailers of games that just like the trailers are fake, right? Where it's like we made the models and we animated them, but the game doesn't actually work yet. So,
I mean,
it's hard to tell.
I mean, there has been a new rule now with E3 at least that you can't reveal trailers that doesn't reflect what's going to be actually in the game. Because Ubisoft is notorious for that, where they'll bring out a trailer that looks very stunning or looks very realistic, only to find that the game can barely run at 720p, 30 FPS. Personally, I think for a reveal trailer, like they're just giving us a tease, like a minute of actual footage, I don't think it's justifiable because, one, at the bottom they say that the footage isn't final, which means that, hey, we're still working on a few kinks here or there, and two, a lot of the criticisms are based on things we don't know yet. Like for the reason I brought this up is because of the Pokemon stuff. Pokemon Sword and Shield, which by the way I'm getting Shield, by the way, so far love. They have revealed the game. They had the trailer revealed the other day, and people were criticizing little things about it, like, oh, the graphics don't look that great, or oh, the gameplay looks a little weird in this one frame of animation. And I'm telling people, hey, we don't have the games in our hands yet, so I can't judge it yet. I gotta wait till at least see gameplay first.
That's true. You gotta see real. I think the only way to trust it is to watch other people play the game. Like, I'm not gonna buy a game if I don't see like someone play it on YouTube or something, right? Like, yeah. I mean, sometimes I will. Like, maybe like in the, Steam or App Store, it like looks really good, or like blog posts about it. But
turn your mic down.
Evan, we can hear you.
Yeah, even Tofar Love in the chat was like, yeah, the mic.
You can turn it down for me.
I can't turn it down.
All right, everybody. I'm gonna turn down my microphone.
Jesus Christ! I just had to mute the desktop audio. I can't even. This is not what I need in my life right now. All right, yeah, that's doable.
Is doable, or it should be better? We can make it better.
Turn it down a little bit because I know you like to get loud for whatever reason this week.
Oh, I'm not. It's just I'm just on my Mac right now.
Oh boy, but
it's that Beats audio. That's all it is.
Is this better?
Yeah, that's way better.
All right.
I know you don't play Pokemon, so I'm gonna have to ask this question for Atlas. Tofar Love asked, which version of the game are you gonna get, Sword or Shield?
I don't think I have enough information to judge which one I'm gonna get.
I mean,
that's true. If you only see a trailer, you can't judge yet.
That is true. For me, this is going to be the first time I actually, maybe besides Black and White, this is going to be the first one where I actually choose the second game, because I usually choose like Ruby over Sapphire, Diamond over Pearl.
Yeah, same. I had Ruby. Yep.
Yeah, so this is going to be weird for me to choose Shield, but I got my reasons for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think usually people just wait for the legendaries or the list of exclusive Pokemon to come out to make their decision. But speaking of Pokemon, interesting article came out. I legitimately thought this was real and those are going to be in the movie. But This article is from IO9 Gizmodo. I never heard of them. Have you guys?
I have.
Gizmodo? Okay.
Gizmodo? Oh yeah, they're a good website. Yeah.
All right. So they brought out this article about how the whole upcoming live action Detective Pikachu movie, the one with all the Pokemon looking weird, the movie's gonna be coming out soon. It's looking pretty promising. That might be my sub question for you guys. Have you seen it? But
Have I seen the movie? It hasn't come out yet.
the trailers. Are you guys gonna see that
Yes,
movie?
of course. Everybody's seen Detective Pikachu, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Well, an artist who is known for his creations of making Pokemon look like live action animation has actually came out. RJ Palmer, and he made a design looking very similar to Sobble, the new Gen 8 Pokemon that's gonna be coming out. And the design, honestly, he looks like a real animal if you look at the actual design. Like I said, links down below in the article, guys. Really,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah.
since I didn't want this to be a discussion about Pokemon Sword and Shield because we're all been talking about in Discord, I just gotta ask you guys this question involving Detective Pikachu. Are you guys gonna see it? And how do you feel about Ryan Reynolds being in a Pokemon movie?
First off, I am gonna see it. Second off, that's awesome. I mean, like Ryan Reynolds, he's gonna make Pikachu like a Deadpool character. It's gonna be insane. Like he's not gonna be swearing, right? So it's not gonna be like R-rated. But I think he's a great actor. You know, like I mean, he's the perfect actor for this role. I don't see how anybody else could be cast. Like it's Ryan Reynolds as Pikachu. That's what I want. And
I mean, at this point, who's not gonna watch a Ryan Reynolds movie?
That's true. That's true.
This is just another excuse for me to go see him in theaters. So,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, gotta.
I count it as like Deadpool 2.5. You know, like that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much.
I mean, when I heard that Ryan Reynolds was gonna be in the spot, I was like, oh, that's interesting. Personally, I did not like Deadpool 2 as much as I liked the
Oh, you
first
did?
one.
Oh, well, you should have liked it. It's a pretty good movie.
I mean, Deadpool 2 was fun. It was fun to watch, but I feel like they were trying too hard to make the comedy. I feel like comedy's better when it's natural, or obviously they're writing the script to try and make it funny. I feel like they forced too much into like trying to implement the comedy instead of like letting it roll while making the script. Personally, I was gonna see the movie because Detective Pikachu the game is actually pretty funny. Like you got Pikachu walking around with an RPG, and then the trainer told Pikachu to like use Thunderbolt or something, and Pikachu looked at him like, "Bruh, I can't use that move. I'm a talking Pikachu." So the game is pretty funny. Seeing that it's gonna be on the big screen is actually even better for me. And just the actual plot itself, like trying to find a missing man who may have faked his own death or faked someone else's death, as Ryan Reynolds said, is like, huh? What am I watching? What? Wait, you retracted your own message, bruh? Okay, this is awkward. Y'all got anything else y'all want to say about the whole Ryan Reynolds film, or?
Dude, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be the Deadpool 2.5, and I think it's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. I'm gonna watch it in theaters.
That's what's up. And
Can't wait. I'm gonna watch it in theaters.
bruh, you hear your own playback?
What are you talking about?
Never mind. Let's just move on before I have an aneurysm. This is another article, and I think, Evan, you should probably lead the discussion on this one. It's about the THQ issue.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so with this whole THQ thing, where the marketing director like decides to do an AMA with 8chan, which I I think that's just kind of ridiculous. I didn't read far enough to understand, looking far enough to understand how exactly they decided to do an 8chan AMA, or why, because it's THQ, doesn't make any sense. But I'm not surprised that their AMA was filled with a bunch of anti-Semitic and racism and a bunch of nasty stuff. I mean, that's 8chan's like a 4chan type website. It's anyone with a brain is gonna expect that to happen, right?
True.
Of course, I'm not surprised, but and if you look at THQ's Twitter, or THQ Nordic's Twitter, they're in damage control mode right now. They're really trying to like say
Yeah.
like we didn't know, we're really sorry, blah 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 blah.
I mean, I don't know why a company would put themselves in a position such as this. Like, most people don't even know who you are in the first place. So
People knew what THQ was. It's just that their heyday it has passed them severely since the early days of the 360 and PS3. That's when.
Since Game Boy, bro. My first game was THQ Snoopy.
I mean, I played the. I'm talking about. I used to play the wrestling
Scooby-Doo,
games they made. I'm talking about like they fizzled out of relevancy around the early 360 and PS3 days.
they're not doing any good for themselves by doing this.
I mean, it didn't help because well, first off, recency. If I said that right, howdy back to you, and secondly, I agree. And most people with brains who have AMAs either do it on Twitter or Reddit because those are pretty credible sites. They're not gonna they're gonna filter out all the BS, and you yourself are able to filter out the BS if you're doing an AMA on those platforms. So them putting themselves in the position of, oh hey, 8chan reached out to us, we took the opportunity. That's a no-no. Just because you have the opportunity to, drive over a pothole doesn't mean you take the opportunity to drive over the pothole. You just avoid it if you can.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I just like it got them back somewhat relevant because I thought THQ was done for good. So I guess this kind of helped them get back to relevancy.
I guess they're trying to become relevant by just doing like stupid stuff like this.
I mean, I guess that's the new market and norm nowadays.
It's not a good way to be relevant. Yeah, I mean, okay. I was looking at one of their Twitter posts and someone was like, "Well, this kind of makes sense for like most gamers are not gonna care. They're gonna be like, wow, that's stupid." But like, I think a lot of people realize that a lot of like the stuff on 4chan and stuff, most of it is people just kind of memeing around, right? Like where they're like saying like the worst shit they can say just because they can. Now, of course, you get like some instances where people will take it seriously, and then there's that one post of like "Don't go to this school tomorrow," where it's like, damn, that's pretty bad. But I think most people realize that 4chan, 8chan, it's like a bunch of people memeing. But
maybe I'm being too protective from the internet, but I didn't even know 8chan was a thing. I knew what 4chan was. I just didn't know 8chan was until the THQ Nordic thing.
I looked it up and it just looks like a 4chan clone, but just like basically
I mean, at the end of the day, like they actually, the person who organized all this, obviously it's his job to organize the event and make sure that things run smoothly. So if he failed to either,
whoever organized it was a troll, I feel, because like they were able to get THQ to just not look up what 8chan is and just start.
Yeah, I mean, like even if the guy did like a half-baked search into it, you should tell based off the look and feel of a website if it's a trustworthy website or not. Like you can tell, for example, you go on a website if it's gonna have a virus or if it's an actual trustworthy site to do research on. But it's all right. They're gonna learn. They became somewhat relevant. If you
click that big green download button that also says "ad" in the bottom right corner, you're gonna get a virus.
Well, if you're dumb enough to click on those, I don't feel bad for you or your computer. In fact, actually, I do feel bad for your computer because it's in the hands of an idiot.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's go on to the next one.
At least you want to take over this one because apparently these are your favorite people in the world right now.
Wait, what?
What?
The game reveal from Star Wars. You remember the article you sent me?
Oh, I sent you that one?
Yeah.
Oh, all right, cool. Let me go get it.
Okay.
All right, cool. I got it. The new AAA Star Wars game will be announced at Celebration. I don't know what Celebration is in Chicago in April.
Never heard of that either, and I live here.
Yeah, so I mean,
are you guys gonna go to it? Because I'm not in Chicago right now.
Fuck no.
If it's in April. If I got nothing to do at all, maybe, but I never heard of the event at all, personally.
Yeah, nobody knows what the hell Celebration is, and I mean, I'm just surprised that a new Star Wars game is going to be announced after everything that happened.
Dude, honestly, though.
Like with EA, it makes little to no sense. When you see me in the article, I thought it was outdated or it was fake news, but apparently if they're going to be announcing something in April, then they have to have something in the works. I don't know, but again, another article, another week about EA.
Another
I
day,
try
another
to
dollar.
I try to avoid talking about them as much because they're getting more press than any other developers that we talk about on the show. Not only that, they don't deserve half the press they get.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's weird. I mean, it's
And
uplifting.
when you have a lot of money, you can get away with a lot of stuff. I think that's what's going on.
That is true because you got enough money to do damage control, buy people out, and just you still have enough money to stay afloat. If people boycotted your game for 6 months, you'll still have enough money to pay people's bills and still develop games.
Yep, that's the money right there. Yep, that's it.
So I don't know. I feel like EA would never like falter from all the decisions they made lately. But I think it's uplifting to see that Respawn are the ones who are gonna be making this title.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I like seeing.
They should just
I mean,
separate from EA. To be honest,
I mean, if EA is paying their bills, that'll be harder than just saying, "Oh, I just want to break away." Like the whole Bungie Activision split was because Bungie was already an established company. Now with Respawn, I don't know how much. I mean, how much share they have in the pie with EA, but if they're EA's bitch, let's be honest, then they really can't get out of the deal. They just gotta keep developing games for them, unless they want to, unless they just want to buy themselves out and take a risk.
yeah. I mean, I feel like Respawn. You know, I'm sure, like, with all the early interest in Apex Legends, they're like, all right, we should start figuring out what we're gonna do next.
Yeah,
And then once they get the proof, right, where they have all this money that they actually made from Apex Legends in, like, you know, less than a month or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I haven't seen anyone mention this before, but like I'm wondering how much revenue split there is between Respawn and EA for Apex, because Apex has been bringing a ton of money. I think they said that Apex brought in like $100 million within a couple days, which is which is to the surprise of no one. Recently said that he wouldn't.
I wasn't aware that Respawn was a part of EA. Is that what's up?
It's kind of similar to like how Nintendo and Pokemon works. Like the Pokemon company / Game Freak develop the games while Nintendo publishes the titles. Same for EA. You know, they publishes whatever titles Respawn makes. So
Yeah.
they're kind of hand in hand in that way. But like Reese said that he wouldn't leave EA because that's so much more of a budget they have access to. And to that, I say he's absolutely right. There is more of a budget, but you also have to deal with the pressures of a company. Like if you're with Activision, they're not afraid to tell you, hey, we want this in the game, and you got this deadline. Now EA, on the other hand, they'll tell you, hey, put as many loot boxes as you can, and the game could be whatever.
I mean,
That's true.
That's what happened even in Apex's case. The developers, you know, in the last article we spoke about this, said that, you know, EA had no input in this game besides the loot boxes.
Yeah, and that's kind of sad. I did hear that EA were behind the marketing ploy of having top streamers play the game. Like they sponsored them to play the game for a few days, and that was really smart because that means hundreds of thousands to millions of people got to see the game and then go out and download it themselves when they saw how fun it was. And then they held their own tournament where they had a $10 million prize pool, I believe.
Really?
Yeah, so they did a lot of good things for the game at the beginning of the launch because, you know, how long did it take for Fortnite to have their first summer skirmish, their competitive scene, or how long did it take for other companies to realize, hey, this is lucrative at AF?
It is lucrative AF.
I don't know. I think EA is, like I said, they're not going to go anywhere. Yes, they are JoJo reference, as Tofar Love said. And I don't know. I think the future is looking bright for them with Apex still being number 3, number 4 on Twitch. Personally, I just don't really like what EA does, but they make money. Look at FIFA, for example.
Yeah, dude. FIFA's popular. I mean, everybody knows what FIFA is. Everybody plays it. Like.
He's right. You're right, bro. Like Reese in the chat again said that it's like a modern version of having pro athletes in your commercials. It's pros who are, you know, using the products live to, you know, showcase the greatness of it, and that's true. Like everybody knows that because of top streamers playing the game, you're not going to pull up the same numbers they are in the game. But it does encourage people to try it out because, hey, Joe Schmo, who I look up to as a streamer, is playing Sea of Thieves. Let me go play Sea of Thieves or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I mean most streamers are like really good at the games they play, so it's like because then there's some exceptions, I think, but
yeah, no, there are exceptions out there. I would never knock on someone for being popular, but they're trash at the game. So long as they're actually putting effort into their stream. If you're
Yeah.
streaming like once a week and you get 100,000 followers because you're showing something more than just the game, you know what I'm saying? I have a problem with you. But if you're streaming 3 or 4 times a week and you're genuinely having fun, then I don't care if you're good at the game or you're straight trash. Just keep doing your thing because you earned what you're getting. But
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
oh, I did forget Sims is an EA title. I actually did forget that. You ever played the Sims series, guys?
I remember playing Sim City a lot, like just back in
I
like
have.
school. That was fun.
I personally think it wasn't. It wasn't my favorite game. I personally think it wasn't a good game at all.
I mean, it's
But that's
crazy.
just my
because-
opinion.
it's
Oh,
crazy
just the
because-
straight up Sims, I didn't like that much. Like I had it. I think I had it on mobile actually, on like iPhone 4
you
or
think-
something.
When you think about
Like-
the formula, though, it's pretty funny because Sims, it was like the OG Civ 5, if you think about it.
Is it though?
Yeah, same for like Fortnite in the sense that like you get to control the actions of other people, and you also got the same. You got a very similar interface if you look at the two. If you catch my drift. Now the interacting with objects and Sims catching on fire and all that. Obviously, that's nothing in Civ or Minecraft, but interface wise and like the general layout of it, I feel like it's very similar in terms of you get to choose how things are going down in the world.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think EA has made interesting games. I used to be a big fan of them back when they made good Madden titles, but now their games are looking pretty trash.
There's a lot of like where they'll like make features for a game that like are not finished, and like people are just like, why would you do that? Like, why would you even like make that a feature? You know?
No, I agree. Like I do understand that the casual market out there. There's a demand for that, and a bunch of games aren't gonna be for everyone. I'm completely fine understanding of that. I'm just more of a hey, if you're gonna release a game, let the game be completed first, and let the game feel like the consumer is getting their $60. Because I know some people would buy it.
Don't add features to a game that like aren't finished. That's just
Black
it's
Ops
simple
4.
as that.
Black Ops 4 promised so
I
many
haven't played
features
it.
that haven't even been here yet.
Really?
Yeah, they promised like you have factions in the game. They promised you'll have they said that you'll have different game modes. Like for example, in Zombies, they just revealed Gauntlet mode. This is like 3 months after the game came out. They fixing bugs and stability issues. Black Ops getting updated more and more as time goes on, but multiplayer and Zombies are still plagued with their own issues. And the game came out a month earlier than it usually does for the Call of Duty cycle. So I personally attribute a lot of that because they were kind of rushed out the door with their features. And plus the black market is always being changed constantly because of criticisms and feedback. But I don't know, like I think that's why I'm all about the whole like gaming subscription things, which we will talk about at the very end, because it just means that if I hate a game, I don't feel like I have to go to GameStop and only get $30 back, or feel that I just got to power through it. You know, if I got a subscription and I paid only $10 a month, it's like, oh, that game was bad. Okay, carry on with the rest of my day. Not worry about a thing. You guys alive over there?
You want to talk about the subscriptions then?
No, I said we could get to that in a little bit. We could breeze right through these next two that's in front of it. Next one, you can cover this again, Alex, because you gave us the MW2 article.
I sure didn't I?
Yeah.
All right.
You sure did. You remember doing that?
All right. Yeah, I'm opening. I'm bad. My bad. I couldn't hear you earlier. So, yeah, it seems
Wait,
as
what?
if. It seems as if no. When you were giving us the list,
Wait, what's the
close.
order? Wait, what's the order of the list?
wait, hold up. Let me. All right, I got this. So yeah, Modern Warfare 2 Remastered. It seems as if it's pretty much been confirmed by a PEGI rating. And PEGI, I have no idea what it stands for, but I know it's an organization in Europe that rates games. So if they're going to, well, here, I have the name. It's the Pan-European Game Information Board. So I mean, if they're gonna give it a rating, so I mean, pretty much means it's gonna be coming out pretty soon.
Yeah. I mean, the whole rumor mill right now is that the latest Call of Duty game that's going to be dropping is going to be Modern Warfare 4, which is obviously the fourth title within the Modern Warfare series. And that's interesting because it's been almost a decade since they continued off of that trilogy. What's interesting about this is that not only has there been like leaks and rumors about it, but there's been evidence to support it. Like for the month of March, actually, for all you PSN users out there, you'll be able to get Modern Warfare Remastered for free. And this is so the MW2 remastering happened makes a lot of sense because when they did Infinite Warfare,
they already did Modern Warfare 1 remaster.
Yeah, when they released Infinite Warfare, they gave out Modern Warfare Remastered with one of the pre-order editions, and then eventually it became its own standalone game for $40. So this makes a lot of sense if they are going to do a Modern Warfare 4 and they remaster MW2, which is actually a fan favorite. Now, and they also did this actually, if I'm correct, they did this with Black Ops 4. Before Black Ops 4 came out, Black Ops 3 was free on the PSN store. I could be wrong. So if that's the trend that we're always going to see for a sequel to a previous title, hey, that means we're going to be getting a lot of fun games to play, because I know what I'm going to be doing during my free time when I get MW1 remastered.
What are you going to be doing in your free time?
I'm going to be hacking the game and dropping nukes.
Oh.
But how about you guys? Have you guys ever played MW1 and 2? Because at least I know World War II was an interesting experience for you. What about Modern Warfare 1 and 2 games?
I mean, World War II was my first COD game, so.
Oh, yeah. Wait, that was your first?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I mean, I never owned one.
Dude, I had it on the Wii, bro. I had World War II on the Wii.
Oh, yeah, World at War on the Wii?
World War, yeah, not World War II.
Man, I hate how they're all similar names. World War II, World at War, Modern Warfare, Infinite Warfare.
I think we just need games without so much violence, you know?
I've played Modern Warfare and Modern Warfare 2.
You agree with me, right, Alex? Like, we need games that aren't as violent, like Rocket League, you know?
Yeah, I mean, Rocket League is probably the best game on the market right now.
Meanwhile, 10 minutes ago, Atlas Onus, I've heard of that name before, in the chat said Apex is greater than Fortnite. And they're both a game of ensuing of violence and shooting and destroying stuff.
Well, I mean, I'm just comparing the two games. I'm not talking about which game is
better. Well, I would say that Rocket League's probably the best.
Yeah, I mean, definitely.
I mean,
next to Counter-Strike, probably. Counter-Strike is okay, but the community's kind of toxic. So
yeah, for sure.
I mean, PC games are going to be better than console games any day of the week. So. That's just my.
What about the Arkham series, though?
No.
I mean, evidence right there. With the video game subscriptions, and this has been pretty obvious with anyone that has Windows 10, you were going to be getting those Xbox games on what's it called?
On Windows, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's the same. It's like the Xbox has AMD. What is it? AMD Jaguar. Xbox One has AMD Jaguar, and that's x86 64. So it's like it's the same type of instructions that your computer runs.
Right.
I don't think it's that hard for Microsoft to port the games.
Exactly. No, it's definitely not. So I mean, PC for the win, and Rocket League especially.
Yep, definitely.
Nope. As our boy Reese in the chat was trying to say, he played Black Ops 1 and MW3, and then he said that Pokemon is the best game on the market. Kappa. I agree with him. There is no debate that Pokemon is the best. Look at the tenure the game has. We're about to hit, 23 years of Pokemon excellence? Majority of games can't even compare. So, yeah.
Is it really excellent, though? Like, that's kind of, like, debated, you know?
That ain't debated, man. Pokemon was out before I was even born, and it's still running.
Dude, Pokemon's a good fucking series. I'm kidding.
I know. But fine, we can move on to the next topic before I kill one of you.
Why are you gonna kill one of us?
This is by Digital Trends, and this article is really interesting because it's not like the article mentions that on Windows 10 future update, they're actually been kind of data mining of the platform. They found that you'll actually be able to.
Big surprise! Windows 10's doing data mining.
Yeah. Oh no way.
No. Y'all don't even understand the complexity of it. Originally,
I understand it's probably pretty complex.
Originally Microsoft revealed the Xbox Play Anywhere, where Xbox exclusives can be played on your Windows PC or on your Xbox, along with the Game Pass that was revealed shortly afterwards. With this update that's coming out, it's revealed that you'll be able to play your entire library of games that are on the Xbox on the PC. So that means potentially you'll be able to play your AAA titles on there, like your Call of Duties, and you'll be able to play, your Rocket Leagues and stuff like that without having.
Well, you
to
can play
have
I can play Rocket League without Xbox, but you know.
Yeah, it's
or for the consumer out there.
Steam exists.
Or for the consumer out there who doesn't have a high-end PC or wants to use the cloud service, or someone who doesn't want to buy their games off Steam, this is a service for them. As you can see, the Game Pass is doing well.
I don't think it's going to make their computers faster.
No, it's not. They're using the cloud service.
These games are optimized for Xbox, so it's going to be weird. You're going to have a really beefy PC, I feel like.
No, you don't have to. They're actually trying to work with the cloud service, which means that the game would be streamed to the platform. That's why they're trying.
You'd have to have like fast ass internet though.
Yeah, we went over this last week. What happened last week?
Like because when you're doing cloud streaming, then your frame rate is dependent on your internet. It's not just your network lag. Like your whole frame rate is dependent on internet, and that's
absolutely true. We discussed this last week.
I mean, it's good if it works, but like for a lot of people, it's not going to work because these games they want to stream them at like 4K. They're not going to.
Okay, if you try to stream a game at 4K, and you don't have it happen, you can't be mad at anybody besides yourself. But I do understand what you're talking about.
Why would you be mad at yourself? I'd be mad at like one of the ISPs, right? Like, why would they not give me 4K streaming?
4K isn't even optimized for current PC gaming. Like,
yeah, it is.
Not really.
PC gaming can run 8K, bro. It's like that's why it's PC gaming because you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, but then you see people having dropped frame rates, or have you seen with Battlefield 5? The new shaders they just put in, I forget what it's called exactly, but if you use that in your console while you got your 1080 Ti, you can still be seeing dips below 60 FPS while playing 4K. So it's not all entirely optimized because
PC 4K, you can run like 4 cards SLI. Like Xbox, it's like okay, well you have an Xbox like
to your monitor.
Hooked up to my monitor? No, it doesn't matter how many cards are. You can hook up all of them to your monitor if you want.
But if you're cross-firing through the SLI, we can talk about this after the stream because I realize that not everyone is.
No. Crossfire and SLI are two separate technologies.
Now, if you're crossfiring or using SLI, you still only got an HDMI going from one monitor to the graphics card itself.
Well, you wouldn't want to use HDMI anyways because HDMI is
DisplayPort.
You want to use DisplayPort
2.1. Because wait, is there 3.1 yet?
Or you could use like Thunderbolt, like through the
USB Type C.
Like that's pretty high bit rate, so you can get like really high quality, fast, low latency frames.
Okay, since we just destroyed the internet with our nerdism, we could probably move on to the subscription wars. I think that'll be something everyone can understand.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So if you have like a subscription, right?
They haven't really went. I like the article because they went about the pros and cons of this, but in terms of subscriptions, they haven't told us when they're all going to be revealed out there by the developers.
I think it's stupid that Apple is going for a subscription.
Okay, can we leave?
Yeah, I think like how the hell is Apple going to do games, right? Like they have I thought they were just going to go for their like.
All right, for everybody watching, I just muted those two because we haven't even broke down the article for the viewers. So yeah, I didn't want this to be 3 in a row.
Bro, what?
Y'all didn't break it down for the viewers. So basically, this is an article by Exios, and it says the video game subscription wars are on. And basically, it's an article getting words. It's an article describing everything that is involving of the gaming industry, and top companies are trying to get their hand in the pie with their own services. So
that's true.
It started off with Google. Google's trying to reveal their own service at the Game Developer Conference, and they're trying to push out a ton of money to get a bunch of developers to sell their licenses exclusively to them for their own services.
Google wants that big money.
Apple, which is really weird because their platform doesn't help out with.
No, Apple's pretty good, honestly.
I mean, but most games on like Steam, for example, you can't.
No, I think games run best on Macs when they're optimized.
Get the hell out of here.
Well, dude, the new Mac Pro, you can run like 4 graphics cards on it.
But how much do you gotta pay for a Mac Pro? I'm over here trying to rep Windows. I'm trying to get that contract from Microsoft.
How much did you pay for your PC? Probably about the same as like for a Mac. So
I paid a little under $1,000 if we don't count the extra.
For a Mac, you're also paying for like software to work. For Windows, it's just like you don't really pay for it. I mean, you pay for it, but not really.
I mean, there's a such thing as buying your own internet protection programs. But
Yeah,
those are
I forgot
expensive.
I'm not basic enough to do that. But as we get into this article, Apple is trying to start their own services that's supposed to be
That's so
revealed on March
stupid.
25th, which I agree. I think it is pretty
Why is
bad.
Amazon doing it too?
Microsoft,
Yeah, I
of
mean,
course, are doing their
come
own
on.
thing. God damn
I
it.
understand. My bad. I understand that, you know, the big players and every console and the company that makes them would make a service, but really Amazon and I mean Apple especially, they're not known for gaming.
Yep.
Besides Candy Crush, which really doesn't count.
They didn't make Candy Crush though, so
I mean, I'm just saying because it's on iOS.
I
You know,
mean, almost everything's on iOS. Clash Royale, Clash of
That's
Clans,
true. That's
Pokemon.
true. That's true. That's true. Dude, they need to have the Pokemon RPGs on iOS.
No,
Like, why not?
no.
Why would you just want it on DS? I don't want to fucking buy a new hardware to play play Pokemon.
Well, they were playing hardball
Yeah,
with
that's
Nintendo because the reason the Switch had a shortage when they first came out was because there's a special chipset that only one developer makes, and with that one
What's a special
developer, there's
chipset
only
so they can make more money? Like, I mean, it's just code. Like, they could just fucking run
Well,
it
it was
on
actually-
whatever they want.
it's not
Like, they
about
didn't
just
really
that.
get special chipset to run fucking Pokemon. Like,
It's not about
high
that. It's about the
graphics.
whole Nintendo debacle because that chipset was sold by that one developer. There's only one other company in competition with them for that chipset, and that company was Apple. So you know who sold their chips to first for their iPhones. Yeah, Apple got all the chips, which put the Switch into a shortage. So with that in mind, I don't think
So then
would be-
Nintendo should just fucking release on iOS and iPad, because like the iPad is a Switch basically. Like you can stream it to your TV. It's touchscreen. You know, you could probably add some extra controls if you want that aren't like $100 each. You know what I mean? I mean,
Well,
I
Nintendo's
just
doing
I.
it, but Nintendo is more of an isolated platform ecosystem wise.
That's true, but so is Apple. They got their App Store and stuff.
So
'cause-
why would two isolated ecosystems come together?
so they can release Pokemon?
But Pokemon is fine without it.
No,
Yeah, you see
we
Pokemon
need
Go.
Pokemon on
You
iOS,
see
bro.
as many Pokemon Go me off
We
the
need
Google Play
Pokemon
Store.
that's not like Pokemon.
They put Super
whatever
Mario
that-
Run out there for you guys. So what else do y'all need?
I don't know what I need.
Yep, Reese brought up a
I
good
mean,
point.
I'm
He
not
said
gonna-
it's- he said
Dude,
it's
I
Apple.
want
The
them to
phone
release
costs
Pokemon
$250.
Diamond and Pearl on the fucking iPad.
I mean,
I
they're
mean-
always trying to stop emulation by DMCAing all the people who ran emulation websites and suing those who still got them going. So they'll
Well, in the
try
US,
to-
emulators are legal. It's just like selling like.
you can't
letting
sell their
people play
ROMs though.
Yeah, ROMs are illegal.
That's the
So
thing. They didn't want anybody to have their first party IPs in a ROM. So why would they jump ship to Apple all of a sudden?
well, Apple doesn't support emulators, so it's like
Yeah, we're playing emulators.
but
back
they
in
don't
the days.
allow store because they know it promotes piracy. So
I mean, that didn't stop us our freshman year. A lot of us were playing Pokemon on our iPads.
well, I don't know how everybody got emulators unless it was just jailbroken. Like yeah, it'd be
No, I
jailbreak.
didn't jailbreak my iPad at all. I knew that would mess me
no,
up.
it was very easy.
Yeah, it
to-
was. Just go to Emu Paradise or something.
Yeah, there was a few websites, but now they're all gone.
Yeah, that's because of the whole Nintendo DMCAing that's been happening.
Yeah, what happens is like you can distribute apps like that if you have an Apple developer account, but you had to like risk your $100 per year developer account to be able to do that.
I mean, piracy is piracy. You're gonna have pirates who risk everything for shit. I think like pirates, for example, who release, music and movies on the internet. They're risking not only their sites being taken down, but them getting legal action from somebody. You know,
Well,
how
they
ballsy
risk
you gotta
it, but
be.
it's like I feel like the people running the pirate sites like know a little bit about like
I mean, but do you know how
you know,
ballsy you
making
gotta
sure
be
they're-
to try to illegally put out their Avengers Infinity War? You know how ballsy you gotta be to go against Disney doing something like that? Like, even if you were to know the legality and the gray areas of sharing content, there's still maybe that one legal loophole that they'll use against you to just pound you in court.
well, if they ever catch you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean, you
Nintendo
can
did
get
that
a
with
lot of-
Soldier Boy with the
Think
emulation.
about these. Well, Soldier Boy was talking about that shit on his Twitter. Like
Soldier Boy's an idiot.
I mean, Sony also just.
Soldier Boy was releasing pirated content
I mean, but
under his own
I,
fucking name.
I donated $1 to Soldier Boy and he returned it.
I mean, here's
He
the thing.
returned it.
Here's the thing, though. Like, Sony's also got it on people for that. Like, there was one guy who was selling modded PS4s on eBay, and they bought their own, and they actually
Yeah, it's
broke it
Soldier
down.
Boy.
Get your ass
So
out
your
of
boy
here.
happy new. Oh, why me screaming?
Okay, we're gonna cut the stream off right now because we just hit the 40-minute mark. So yes. All right, guys. I'll thank you all for coming out here for this half-baked
Thanks everybody
stream.
for joining my stream.
I muted the desktop audio so I could get this part out of the way. If you guys like what you see here and you didn't cringe too much, be sure to leave a like down below. I'd love to hear all your information down below. Reese, I'm looking forward to buying my Soldier console too. And by the way, Sony just sued the guy selling the modded PS4 for $250K. So, other than that, do you guys want anything to say? All right, they are gone. All right, let's get out of here. Gates still open. I got to close them so I can finally get some sleep and not get an aneurysm from this stream. So bye, everybody. Yay.